Virgo, this is your collective bonus birthday month reading. So let's dive into this. I'm going to start doing these for every time we change into a new season because I think it would be fun. So that's what we is going to do. All right, here we go. Let's get our oracle cards chosen over here. Move everything over. We are in Virgo season. My son is a Virgo. He is going to be 14 this month. Wow. Well, actually, next month. I keep thinking it's September already. I'm always thinking forward, right? Okay, September. September. All right, let's see what we have for our lovely Virgos for September. What is going on? And I kind of have the intentions of a good stuff read, you know. Yeah, because this is like happy birthday messages, you know, the good stuff coming to you. Things that you're getting over. We need some good news every now and then, right? Don't we? Okay. Don't let pride get in your way. That came out for someone else, you know. It's like the same message. Even though you can see yourself being the top dog, you just have to sometimes get your foot in the door, you know, and start maybe not at the top, and that's okay. That's okay. All right, this is our energy oracle. We have, ooh, look at that. We have 41, 7th chakra, Archangel Uriel. You know, this is your crown chakra, is your connection to the divine, your connection to spirit. Tapping into that, you might have ear ringing messages, downloads, ascension. Okay, what else do we have for Virgo? And you're the first reading I'm doing this morning, and then I'm going to do the water signs after this. Let's see. Oh, wow. Oh, okay. Enter your vortex with a 1010, aligning with infinite abundance. Wow. So think about that. Being in alignment and then drawing in what is meant for you. Abundance. I like that. I haven't pulled that card yet, so that's pretty cool. All right, so let's look at what good things are coming towards Virgo for this Virgo season. The good stuff coming towards Virgo for this Virgo season, because we're already in it. So here we go. What do we have? Ooh, okay. We have the 2 of Cups, 5 of Wands, and the 4 of Pentacles. Okay. All right, what's crossing these energies? The good stuff for Virgo. I already have some messages coming through, but I want to wait till we get the crossing. Let's see. Oh, okay. Bam. Oh, okay. Page of Swords. 8 of Cups. Okay. And now the Page of Wands. Communication, right? Honest, possibly passionate or inspired. It feels new because we have pages here. We have the 2 of Cups and the Page of Swords. You know, the 2 of Cups could be 2 things, all right? Yes, it could be a new romance and new communication. You know, this 2 of Cups is, it's a soulmate energy, but it's also about duality. It's about the masculine and feminine coming together within you, you know, your own inner balance. So you might be having some type of truth with that, is what I'm feeling with the Page of Swords. You might be more honest with yourself this month. And, you know, if you're curious about learning something, this would be a yes, go for it. Learn something. Maybe there's something you're wanting to learn about a person. You're wanting to know more. Ask questions. That's the energy we have here. If you need to know more about this person, ask them. Don't let pride get in your way, right? So I'm sensing a bit of bravery here, and I'm really noticing those cheeks. There might be a little bit of I don't know why it would be embarrassment, but maybe just being shy, you know, about this possible connection here. So this is either representing a person or it's your inner world. Take it however it resonates there. So it's very sweet. Now this one I really like. This month you could be walking away from conflict, choosing your battles wisely. You know, it could be that, you know, I just heard drama queen. That's kind of what this feels like. But this, you know, not being you or anything like that, this is walking away from that kind of energy, right? Because we have the Eight of Cups crossing this squabbling, bickering, arguing, you know, competition, just whatever it is. I think you've had enough of it. You know, maybe it was fun at first. Maybe it was exciting. Maybe it was something you wanted to do. Maybe you took part in this. But now you're just saying, you know what? Yeah, I'm over it. And just kind of turning your back on it. You know, which, you know, I approve. You know, who wants to, life's too short for all that. Okay, and some of you, these feel like three separate messages just right out of the gate. We have the Four of Pentacles and the Page of Wands. Okay, so we know that the pages are messengers. They represent all of their suit, all of the fire signs, all of the air. So this is stability, but it's also holding on to things, you know. Now, is it holding on to the past? It just depends on your situation. We have a sense of what is valuable here, because this is about holding on to things that you find valuable or important to you for some reason, right? And fire signs this could be the energy to either renew this energy here. When I say renew, it's like you might be changing what it is you value. And we kind of see that here because those cups used to provide something for you, but now you're walking away from it. So I get, with this Page of Wands, I get a kind of a phoenix type energy, like something being destroyed and then, you know, coming back. So I get the feeling that what you're passionate about and what you're holding on to, it might be changing, is what I feel here. I feel like this is the fire that is changing things in your life and changing what you value, you know. And this could be changing your abundance as well, I think. When you follow your passions, when you're curious and excited enough about this, it could increase your abundance in some way. We see that aligning with infinite abundance. This is not infinite. This is kind of a bit of a closed energy. This is not. You know, this is wanting more, you know, because think about this. So this is kind of like little seeds, right? The pentacles, and it's in this little box. It made me think of a pine cone. When you put fire to it, it opens up, it spreads those seeds out, and then you have more abundance. So I kind of feel like that's what's happening here. Your passion allows you to be more open. You know, this, I feel like this is being very resourceful with your resources as well, like how you can use your resources to grow your abundance. You know, things you can invest in that will give things back to you. So I was right in feeling that kind of phoenix kind of energy there. All right, let's see what else good is coming to Virgos. And we have another four. Stability could be a really important feature for this Virgo season. All right, let's see what we have. Okay, Six of Swords and the Death card, Scorpio. Definitely transformation here. And we see movement yet again. Excuse me. I need some more coffee. All right. This feels like a better stability than that one, you know, with that four. Okay. Come on now. Six of Swords again. Wow, in the same row. Five of Cups. And the Two of Wands. Okay. So some of you, I get the feeling you might actually be physically moving, because the Four of Wands is kind of my card of home, you know, because we have the four walls and stability. This is partnerships and commitments. So if you think about your home, you have partnerships and commitments within your home and your family, right? And then we have the Six of Swords. You've learned a lot from your family, from your partnerships, from your commitments, and now you're taking that knowledge elsewhere. You know, you're taking it to maybe another partnership or another commitment, but I feel like you're moving on from this, not necessarily from stability, but I feel like there's some kind of movement here, you know, taking this knowledge with you to something new, you know, whatever you learned with your family there, but that's also letting go of anything that was not so good. This is a healing process as well. You don't get to the Six of Swords without having experienced some kind of tragedy or loss. This is what's influencing this Six of Swords behavior, and it's actually what's helping. This right here is the catalyst. You know, there was some type of, now these cups are spilled here, if we see, so there was some type of conflict, you know, some type of battle. You know, you just because people are family, and I do get a family sense here, it doesn't mean that we're always going to be on the same page or have the same viewpoint, same politics, and even religions. You know, we could be completely separate from that. And so what I'm seeing here is moving towards healing. You know, this is actually probably one of the best feelings I've ever gotten from a Five of Cups card, because this is what's prompting you to move on and to keep the knowledge from this. You've removed your emotional attachments to this, which could keep you, you know, in a depressive or sad or remorseful, regretful state. But I'm not seeing that. I'm not feeling that at all. I feel like this is what's, you know, the reason why, you know, you're moving on, because you're tired of that. So some of you could have had a, you know, whether your home life, whether it was roommates, whether it was a situation, you know, family, what have you, you're moving away from it. And it might be that, you know, they're so ingrained in and how they are and what they are, what they believe, that you're fighting a losing battle, you know. And so now we see a lot of transformation here, because you're choosing a new path. Hold on a second, I'll be right back. And we're back. All right, so you have a transformation happening. You know, this is a universal energy, so this was unavoidable. So with this universal energy here, this was unavoidable, this situation. So you know, just mark it down as something you learned on your soul mission here. What else can you do? Okay, and we're back again. Sorry for the interruptions. Animals. Okay, so this path, you know, it was unavoidable. It was something that was just going to happen, and that's okay. You know, I like to think that any of these situations, it's an opportunity to grow and to become more. So this actually, to me, is very positive. You know, not every reading could be sunshine, lollipops, and rainbows. You know, I wish they could be. But where we really shine, and where things like this happen that try us and test us, you know, it's an opportunity for growth, for sure. So this path, I feel like this isn't coming like after. This is you choosing the path right here with that Six of Swords. This is all one energy. Does that make sense? It's not like this happened, then this, then this. This is all one thing happening at one time. Okay, so let's continue here. The good stuff. And for any of you who have gone through something like this right here, this is a good stuff's read. Absolutely. Because removing yourself from a potentially toxic or upsetting situation is a great thing. You're freeing yourself, you know? And then when you get away from these kind of low vibrational energies, you enter your vortex, right? Then you can align with your abundance and your happiness. Look at that. We have the sun coming out. We have the Empress. There's your abundance. And look at that celebration, you know, being with the right people now, you know, attracting the right crowd. Wow. So this is, you know, I had that sun energy as we came into this. And there you go. So that's beautiful. We have some more Leo energy here. Nice. And we have Taurus. So I really like this reading. You know, if you've gone through something hard, then there you go. And you could have already gone through all of this, and this is just confirmation for some of you. 5 of Pentacles, 9 of Swords, and the Devil. Wow. Okay. Wow. So I've never seen a flop like that before, where we have all these great cards underneath, and then what is crossing, you know, which is actually what's helping. Isn't that weird? So the sun brings clarity to the whole reading. And so we have happiness, following your inner happiness. So we have this darkness over here, right? Lack, sickness. It can't survive in this light. You know, these are incompatible energies. I mean, don't you think so? And think of this as the dark period that maybe you were in here, right? This is all, if we look at these as a group, and maybe that's how we should read this final part here. This is the storm that prompted your growth. You know, we have toxic energy here, toxic family, toxic behaviors, what have you, right? We've got the never-ending nightmare, you know, of this maybe toxic family, toxic habits, what have you. And then this, wow, I mean, I cannot think of a better depiction of hell than this right here. Than this right here. I mean, isn't that a perfect rendition? And so these are the energies that are crossing, right? Crossing hurts or helps. In a way, this suffering is what catapulted you to finally break the cycle. Because I don't think you could stay in this energy much longer. It's incompatible with happiness. It's incompatible with life. You know, not a good one anyway. Who would want to be here? So this is the impetus. That's the inciting incident. You know, that was this is your true being right here, Virgo. Happiness, being around people that love and support you, infinite abundance, and then, you know, we have the sun, more happiness, clarity, inner child, connection to the divine even, you know. So this is who you've always been the entire time this situation was going on. This was what was underneath the entire time. And so sometimes it's really hard to release ourselves from a situation like that, but you did it. You finally just, you know, and it may have hurt to have to leave, you know, but that's what needed to happen here. You got to choose a path to get yourself out of that. This is what you escaped right here, you know, because when we put this back like this, whoops, get back up there. You know, it makes sense, doesn't it? That's what was underneath. This is what kept you from falling apart all this time. That underneath energy, knowing that your true self, right? Because if you think about it, if you were this, you know, a happy and abundant person, you know, that was just a good person, and you were in this situation that was just purely evil, it wouldn't make you, it wouldn't turn you into a toxic person. Think about it. You know, it would hurt tremendously. It would be traumatic, but you would be able to come out of it and be okay. A toxic person who was in this type of situation wouldn't even leave. They would become it, and then they would perpetuate it and then treat other people that way. You know, I mean, do you see, does that make sense? So you have freed yourself from something that was a living nightmare, Virgo. Wow, I don't think I really fully understood this right here, how bad it was. But this last row of cards, this was abusive, it was toxic, it was a living hell nightmare for some of you. Because, I mean, look at how that row flopped out there. You know, but that's what you had to free yourself and get away from. You had to, you know, not being able to see the light, not being in your abundance, you know, the company you had, you know, this is like keeping you down. The company that you were around, they weren't the Three of Cups. They were toxic, horrible people. You had to remove yourself from this, you know. Woo! Jesus, I was like, oh, I'm going to do a happy birthday reading. You know, it's going to be wonderful, fantastic. But there you go. Somebody needs to hear this. Woo! Protection. Strong protective magic for the family and home. Absolutely. Absolutely. I definitely feel that, especially here. We have transformation. Look at that. This fairy tells you to surrender to your transformation in your life that's happening for your highest good. Embrace your transformation. The best is yet to come. That is, yes, it's right there. Flowers. Be generous. Success and emotional fulfillment are yours. Oh my gosh. Wow. Purse. Pay attention to your finances. Money path. Oh, well, there we go. So I think you're coming out of something that was, you know, I don't think it was a productive place or energy. You're moving on to something better. I think, you know, it could be a pinch right now, but you're moving to something better for sure. You have woman dealings, a relationship with a woman. I mean, wow. What a reading. You know, if you resonated with this and you get this message and it is something that happened to you, let me know. Hit that like button. You can leave a comment if you want. This is a pretty tough thing that happened to you that you got over, though, is what I'm seeing here, because you're picking this path. So one more thing I want to note here. So there's a path, right? This transformation. One path is happiness and abundance and being with people that are your people, kind, loving, supportive. The other path is depression, illness, sickness, nightmare, toxicity. Choose. You know, come on. There's two paths, you know. That is crazy. Wow. Okay, Virgo, I think I know which path you're going to go down, and you're going to rid yourself of this hellish nightmare, whatever it is for you. Wow. Okay. Woo, not what I expected. All right, Virgo, I do wish you a very happy birthday. I really do, and we'll do another reading for you on Wednesday. So we'll see what comes out then. All right, Virgo, happy birthday. Please hit that like button, share, subscribe. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.